I'm with Principal Mark Bailey in Richmond High School. Mark, great honor for our school. You were one of 5 educators from America invited to go to China, Shanghai, and give a presentation at an international conference. And I believe they're revamping their education system. So years from now, you'd say, hey, China, I'd help you do it.
Well, yeah, it was an honor to be selected. You know, it's not something I applied for. It was just brought to my attention by a cohort of mine. There were 3 college professors, 1 school superintendent, and then a high school principal that were invited to go to the International Conference on Career Development and Education. It was this past June in Shanghai, China, on June 19th and 20th. It was really a wonderful experience. And in China, you know, we think about here in the United States, everyone's stressed about state-mandated testing, whether it be the OGT or the PARC or the air testing. Everyone's very stressed about that. And of course, you have the ACT, PSAT, SAT. In China, they have 1 test, and it's called the Gaokao. And based on the results of that 1 test, a person's entire future is decided. You know, if you don't do very well on that test, you may not have the option to go to college. Many times they pick what field you will study if you go to college based on the results of that test. So the stress for teenagers and, you know, high school students or the equivalent in China is very high. Teenage suicide is very high because of the stress of this test. And so they're looking to Western civilizations and looking at a multifaceted approach to leading students down the right path to making a career selection and college selections and things of that nature. So it's very interesting.
So what was your presentation about?
My presentation was about bringing about vocational awareness and meaningful experiences to prepare for the 21st century workforce. So really I started with, in the elementary schools we traditionally do career days, and talked about career days and how that can help lead students. I talked about in the middle school at the end of 8th grade how we do an individual career plan to help lay out the 4 years of study at the high school, and then talked about the things that we are doing unique to New Richmond this year with our College and Career Readiness class, our College and Career Success class for seniors. Talked a little bit about the fact that in the United States they look at test results like ACT scores, they look at your transcripts, your grade point average. There's usually an essay that the student writes. There's lots of different things that come into play when you're accepted into a university or a college in the United States, which is very different from what they have now. So those are the kinds of things I talked about.
How was that accepted?
You know what? They were very excited about it. I've actually had several communications with some of the professors and some of the educators since I've returned. And they're very excited to continue the process. They've asked me to come back next year and take a tour of their schools and see what they're trying to implement, some of the ideas that all 5 of us shared with them.
Well, you plan to go back?
You know, I don't know. It's a pretty long flight. You know, that was a painful experience. I'm not sure I can handle the food that much either. It's pretty different. You know, everything seems to have a head on it, you know?
Yeah. You don't like the food stir back?
I don't like, you know, when you say seafood, I don't want the seafood seeing me while I'm eating it, you know?
You mentioned a couple new classes we're doing here at New Richmond. You want to expand on this a little bit?
Sure. I'm very, very excited about, I'll talk about the College and Career Readiness class first. This is something our Board of Education wanted to bring to fruition. And you know, we're very excited to have that put in place. And Mr. Stratton, who is one of our social studies teachers, is teaching the course. We put a lot of thought and development into the scope and sequence of the course, developing a vision. And we put a lot into it financially as well. We are indoctrinating our students into the Naviance program, which many other high schools use, not in Claremont County, but in a lot of other, particularly Hamilton County and other parts of not just Ohio, but across the country. And it interfaces with colleges. It provides your counselors with an opportunity to send resumes, letter of recommendation, things of that nature to colleges electronically. There's also a multitude of videos and other types of accessories. If students are interested in looking at different types of careers, they can do some research on that. There's a financial literacy piece in preparing for the financial part of the responsibility financially of going to college, how to apply for scholarships, grants, and how to be financially responsible if you can't obtain those. So it's a very good program. I've sat in on several of the classes in the first week or so of school, and the students seem very excited. I think it's going to be a very useful course.
And the other program
Yes.
you're bringing in
The College and Career Success class is something that we've been working on for quite some time with the Claremont County Chamber of Commerce. They have a work readiness initiative, and the counselors and I have been working with the Chamber of Commerce to develop this program. We're the first high school in the county to do this and to offer the class for credit. There are other school districts in the county that are offering one or two of the presentations that the Work Readiness Initiative has to offer, but we are the first high school to put this into a package and to offer this to our high school seniors for credit. So what it basically boils down to, students, seniors in the past who have taken what we called senior option, where they could leave early. During the first semester, they have required presentations given by business professionals in the community through the Work Readiness Initiative. Things based on how to properly interview, how to dress for a job, how to do a resume properly, what are businesses looking for. There's lots of different components in these presentations. And so they have those presentations the first semester, and the second semester they will customize their own project based on what their college or career goals are, and their customized project unique to them hopefully will help them fulfill those goals that they have.
I was fortunate enough to be here last week when that group is meeting. Showed off your new media center. That's just perfect setting for that class where they could, I believe they had about 6 or 7 professionals from the county come in, and they broke off in little groups, and that was a great area to run that. They're in once a week?
Yes, it's on Thursday afternoons. Thursday afternoons they come in and do their presentations, and the presentations start out is a large group, which our new media center can very easily handle, and one of the great things about our electronic media center is that it's also designed in such a way as to divide up into various different size groups, whether it be 2 people together, 4 people, 6, whatever. There's very flexible grouping arrangements possible in that media center, and it works out wonderfully for that class. Just one of the many things it's going to be wonderful for.
Okay, well, appreciate it, and congratulations on being one of the elite educators to be called on to help revamp China.
Well, you know, I hope that I hope that some of the things that we shared, you know, will be helpful and used, and I look forward to seeing how that progresses. But it was quite an honor.
Thank you, Mark.